are stars dozens of times more massive than the Sun, which you would think would live much longer. But they actually use up their nuclear fuel faster. A star 20 times the mass of our Sun has a lifespan of just 10 million years. And more massive stars burn hotter and even brighter, but for much shorter lives. For 90% of the life of a star, the core is only hot enough to fuse hydrogen into helium. And when the hydrogen runs out, fusion slows, gravity aim their telescopes at the right part of the sky. I actually used to work at a neutrino observatory back in college, and I would work the graveyard shift between midnight and 8 a.m. So if I detected a really big increase in the neutrino flux during my shift, it was my job to call and wake up scientists so they could go look out for a supernova. Now that never actually happened, but we did have some close calls. Now I need to clarify a couple things. First, not all really massive stars explode. As they collapse, some stars, there are only about 1 or 2 supernovae per century. A particularly amazing example is the supernova of 1054. In the 1,000 years since the explosion, the remnant has grown to 11 light years in diameter. Supernovas produce a lot of cosmic rays. Cosmic rays are actually particles, mainly protons and helium nuclei, and they travel out at very, very nearly the speed of light. They have a tremendous amount of energy. So, at what distance could a supernova cause problems for life on Earth? The closest stars to us, besides the Sun, are the 3 stars in Alpha Centauri. They are 4.4 light years away. But the stars do move around, and on average, a star gets within 1 light year of Earth every 500,000 years. So, what would happen if such a star went off?
Yeah, so within a light year, you're easily within a danger distance from just kinetic energy. So I think even at that distance, you're looking at possibly blowing the atmosphere off.
But we would also have other problems to worry about. Supernovae create conditions that are hot enough to fuse elements heavier than iron. In the months after the explosion, these elements undergo radioactive decay, producing gamma rays and cosmic rays. Less than 0.1% of the energy produced by a supernova is emitted as gamma rays from these radioactive decays. But even this tiny percentage can be dangerous. At a few light years from a supernova, the radiation could be deadly, though most of it would be blocked by our atmosphere. Now, the Earth is protected from solar and cosmic radiation by our atmosphere, and specifically by ozone molecules, the 3 oxygen atoms bonded together. But high-energy cosmic rays from supernovae has one place, but it wasn't like that. The universe didn't erupt into space.
You meet people around here that are nice, man. Once you get to know them, they treat you like family, you know what I mean? So it's not as bad as you think it is.
There is halal food everywhere. There are a lot of Muslim community here. As a Muslim, I am happy to live in Luton.
You came to Luton to live with more Muslims?
Not for the Muslim, but I like the desi food. You know, there are a lot of Indian and Pakistani food here, and that's why I come here. I'm not a good cook, that's why.
And you guys consider yourself British?
We okay with this country. We've been here. Obviously, we need to support this country.
What does it mean to be a Brit?
First, we are humans. That's it.
Okay, so humans and then nationality?
That's it.
Are you proud to be British?
Nah, not anymore. Used to be. And then you got cats like Keir Starmer and them coming in. Supposed to be Labour. Proud to be British. We're complicit in killing poor people in Palestine. How could you be proud of that?
If you're born in Britain, you're British.
Yeah.
Get on with it. No matter what part of the world they come from.
Me, I'm Pakistani, but I'm proud to be British because I'm born here. These guys have given me a home, given me opportunity and all that stuff. I don't know, I just see a lot of uneducated people that just giving stuff in it, not really educated people talk about these matters. That's my main problem, I say.
Really and truly, we all should be all in it, so one as all as one.
Okay,
personally.
I'm proud of where I come from, but I don't mind people flying their own place, doing their own thing.
Okay.
It's all right.
Days in Liverpool.
Are you going to London on the 13th?
I think I'm gonna go down there, yeah, see what's going on. Fine, just get in trouble. Yeah, it'd be messy, yeah. There's a Christian church right there. Then we have Discover Islam right here. Many different groups, many different groups. How you guys doing? I wanted to come in here and talk to you guys. We're trying to talk to folks out here, see if everyone gets along, all the different groups, Christians, Hindus, Sikhs. Okay. Okay. And you guys are giving all this out to people, right?
Sometimes you can find that they use the excuse that for your safety. And I knew after 6 weeks
cells. So they put me in 16 cells. Our prisons are meant to be full, just me in 16 cells. So it was silent. Then I used to go on a visit, but in the end, after 6 weeks.
Are essentially rocks, made up of some combination of original material and minerals from the surrounding sediment. And they were kind of halfway to being rocks, might have different fossilization potential just because of what molecules make up their body and its breathing. Some other studies have found that certain factors we thought were universally bad for fossilization can sometimes actually make it more likely for something to fossilizate. Think scavengers. It makes sense that scavengers find a carcass that get in the way of fossilization because they'll chow down and destroy the body and not very much control. But in some cases, it looks like scavengers might actually help the preservation process. A 2022 study examined an extraordinary fossil of a dinosaur called Edmontosaurus. This was so well preserved that researchers even found patches.
If you live in the Southeast, you're likely to die a decade or so earlier than most other regions. Why? Well, if you look at deaths from natural disasters, at first, it sure doesn't explain it. I was really surprised to see that deaths from natural disasters are going down, with climate change making these disasters so much worse and so much more expensive. I would have thought the opposite. Well, it turns out the official numbers in this graph are hiding a much bigger story, so big that the scientists who uncovered it didn't believe the data.
We felt we made a mistake. We were like, this can't be true. And we spent like 5 years trying to find what mistake we had made before we decided, okay, this is probably actually true.
And not only do these results fundamentally alter our understanding of deaths from climate disasters, they may solve this long-standing mystery in public health. Natural disasters used to be incredibly deadly compared to today's standards, especially floods and droughts. The 1931 China floods killed between 2 to 4 million, mostly from drowning and famine. It was likely the worst natural in the last 50 years in the U.S. was hurricane.
You can make a weapon. You just go pick up a stick.
Useless. All these weapon bans that are hitting Australia, the UK, Canada, and that it seems like they want to push it even further.
Yes. Enjoying is not the right word. I mean, like, we're enjoying making the videos.
I'm pointing out the stupidity, but it's frustrating about what's going on.
Very infuriating.
And
this one is kind of something we covered a little bit before.
Australia
I thought,
banned
why not go
machetes.
in depth and actually show you
Really,
what we're talking about?
Because we've talked about how useless weapon bans are, because you could just...
Instead of banning hand tools and banning machetes and stuff, why don't they ban the immigrants that are using machetes to kill people with? That would make more sense. Ban the people that you're letting in the country that are using machetes to attack people.
Obviously, I'm not going to show it, but that was a Korean woman who almost had a very traumatizing experience. And it was thanks to, I believe, this guy that she didn't have that experience. This whole event happened in China, by the way, so it was all very multicultural, and I think it helps bring a prevalent problem to people's attention, a problem that a lot of people have started to notice. This next thing comes from Japan. It shows a picture of some passports, and it says, banned countries on the top in Japanese. A tweet commenting on it says, some Japanese nightclubs reportedly banned passports from Turkey, Syria, Bangladesh, India, Afghanistan, and Pakistan in response to their bad behavior towards female customers. This particular picture seems to stem from a Turkish Instagram account, and while I can't tell you what he's saying in this video, many Japanese people have commented on the issue. Here's a post from someone who works security in Japanese clubs. I will note that this post is translated, so I'll show the original really quickly for people who care. Now, my Japanese isn't perfect, but I have to say that the translation is close enough. In short, the first two paragraphs basically confirm the nightclub issue, and under this post, there are tons of Japanese people talking about behavior from foreigners, and I think everyone's at a level of fatigue where they're all thinking, if this is how certain groups of people are going to behave, then Japanese clubs are justified in doing this until their behavior changes. And people aren't afraid anymore to call this stuff out.
What was that, baby? That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah!
Now I have my reservations about Elon's character and personal behavior. However, he did basically steal every bit of power that these rejects had by buying Twitter and allowing people to speak freely.
Marvel now has regained the rights to X-Men. I think it would be a really cool idea to have a trans woman be Mystique.
Oh my gosh, shut up. Nobody cares. We're not doing this anymore. If you want to create a story that no one reads, then go write fanfiction. So the result of this newfound free speech thanks to Elon is that we're now not censored for pointing things out like criminal behavior, and I guess we'll call it cultural replacement through pathological immigration policies. And before anyone calls any of this racist, for one, I don't care. No one cares anymore. Two, a great man once said that he dreamed of a time where people would be judged by the content of their character, and criticizing people's behaviors and cultural trends is not racism. You're being judged by your
has brought back one of their older designs, and it's called the Stingray, and it looks like something